What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're gonna talk some football, Houston Texans football. You know what I'm saying? Today we're gonna break down and preview the matchup versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because it's something that I want y'all to watch. It's something very, very, very key that I want y'all to pay close attention to in this game versus the Buccaneers. And we're gonna break it down. We're gonna talk about it in just a second. But before we get in, I want to send a special shout out to the Houston Texans Pro Bowlers. DeShaun making his second Pro Bowl, back-to-back Pro Bowl. Hop making his fourth overall Pro Bowl. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's his third in a row, fourth overall. And then Larry Tunsil making his first ever career Pro Bowl. And both Larry Tunsil and Hop both voted in as starters, so big ups to them. I was kind of surprised about Tunsil, especially him being a starter. That really surprised me. But I mean, even though he got all the penalties, but I think they take into consideration that those penalties are more before the snap, because it's not really like he's being holding calls. His penalties are always like the false starts, and also he has a couple of illegal linemen blocking downfield, but that's more so because they're doing RPOs and he has to block run and they pass, and sometimes he's just so athletic enough that he can get down the field faster. So I think they take that type of stuff in consideration because his pass blocking been A1 all year. So I'm glad that he made a Pro Bowl. That mean that price tag gonna go up when you gotta pay him this summer. Because now he has a pro, and you already spent 2 first-round picks on him, so you have to pay him. And now he got this. Hey, I got me a Pro Bowl. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Could be second team All Pro. Hey, because if he's a starter, that means they have him graded as at the very least, the top 4 tackles in the NFL. So there's a strong chance that he more than likely will be an All Pro. That's just gonna make that price tag go up, and we already know what it is with Hop and DeShaun. We already know how good that is. But it kind of leads into what I want to say about this matchup: DeShaun versus Jameis Winston. We were robbed out of this matchup back in college because one of the time that DeShaun played a Jameis Winston team, that was the game that Jameis Winston was suspended, if I'm not mistaken, for the whole the comment when he got on stage, not on stage, but in the cafeteria over there at Florida State. I think he got suspended for that when he was like, was it grab her by the water, whatever he said. And he got suspended for I think it was a half, but then ended up being the whole game, so he didn't play the whole game against Clemson. So we didn't get to see the DeShaun versus the Jameis Winston matchup in college. So we get to see him in the NFL. Who knows what's going on with Jameis, if he's going to continue to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneer or be on another franchise in the future. So I want y'all to watch this because this is going to be the third time this season that I'm truly intrigued on watching the opposing team's offense, because the other 2 times was when we played against Kansas City, because everybody know I'm a Texas Tech guy, so I'm a huge Patrick Mahomes fan, so I want to see my boy Pat play. And then I was intrigued about watching the Ravens with Lamar Jackson. I want to see this firsthand. I've watched the Ravens this year, but it's different when you watch them against your team. I want to watch this Jameis Winston offense, but not because of Jameis Winston, because of a name that I've mentioned a couple times on this video and also in videos and live streams on Soft Sports, and that's Byron Leftwich and the offensive play calling of Byron Leftwich. I want to watch it firsthand because Jameis is having, even though he's having a bad season, he's having a quietly good season. He leads the league in passing right now with 4,500 yards, over 4,500 yards. He's only like 430 yards away from throwing for 5,000 yards. He threw for damn near 1,000 yards in the past 2 weeks. He's thrown for 450 in back-to-back weeks. He has over 30 touchdowns, which is a Tampa Bay record for most touchdowns in a season. I think he's thrown 25 picks, if I'm not mistaken. I know his pick number is extremely high, if I'm correct. Let me look and see, just to be on the safe side, how many picks he had, because I'm thinking it's 25, but I could be wrong. And it's 24, yeah. So he has 24 picks. So he is having he's leading the league in picks. But he is able to put he has 2 leading receivers. Wow, now Mike Evans and Godwin won't be there. So that's going to help the Texans out. But the reason why I'm saying this because it was I have a coworker who's a Titans fan, and he called me right after the game, and he said, "Man, I agree with you, what you've been saying." He say that y'all gotta get rid of Bill O'Brien, or at the very least, that we have to get rid of Bill O'Brien, or at the very least, he need to give up them play calling duties. He said, or whoever is calling the plays, and I said he's the one calling the plays. He's like, well, at the very least, he need to give up them play calling duties because he said, ain't no way. There is no way that you have all that talent and have a quarterback like DeShaun and not throw that football. He's like, if that was Kansas City, if that's Patrick Mahomes, they throwing that thing. They throwing that thing. They throwing that thing. I'm like, exactly. That's what I've been saying. And me and Wink and Honcho had a conversation. Me and Wink had a conversation. Then I brought the Honcho's attention too. We were talking about what happened to the 2017 offense. The offense that in 6.5 games, DeShaun threw for 19 touchdowns. Like what happened to this? What happened to that play style? Because since he's been back, last year and this year, we haven't seen any flash of that offense. And like Wink was like, I don't know, bro. That's what we wanted. I don't know. And Honcho brought up a good point because Honcho said he feels that we were training Savage to be the starter all season in 17. You realize Savage wasn't the guy. You pull Savage, you put in DeShaun. So he had to run a Clemson type offense because he had to run something that he was familiar with to win games. DeShaun goes down, gets hurt. Now he has a full off season to try to get that Dabo out of him. Let me install Bill O'Brien mindset into you. I'm going to get that Dabo at your system, and I'm going to install my system in you. And that's why it looks the way it's looked. And because DeShaun is so good, and the talent that we have is so good offensively, it looks good or decent. It's serviceable, but it's not what you expect. And we don't put up the numbers that we put up because DeShaun barely throws the football. Like I was looking at his rookie year, and he was throwing over 30 times in every game, except the only one. It was his first start against Cincinnati. That was on a short week. Remember, everybody was hurt. Like your second receiver. They didn't have any. I don't think they had any active tight ends because all your tight ends was hurt at the time because both Fedorowicz and Ryan Griffin got hurt with concussions in the Jacksonville game. It was a short week, and so they ran the ball a lot in that game. That's understood. But outside of that, the rest of the 5 games, from the Patriots game into the Seattle game, he was throwing over 30 times, 35 times, easy. Last year, only twice he had Last year it was mostly in the 20s, and he had his 2 highest games was the Colt game, the first Colt game, and the Dallas game. Both of those games he threw 40 times, but both of those games were overtime games. So you add an extra quarter because they played deep into the overtime. I mean, the Colt game was almost a tie. If I'm not mistaken, the Cowboy game did get to the 2-minute warning of overtime. So you're probably adding 15 attempts in both of those games because this is basically adding an extra quarter into his stats. So if you take away 15, they give you 25. So he basically threw for 20, and that was his average attempts last year was 25. Now this year, same thing. Average attempts around 25, 26 attempts. He threw a 30 a couple times. His highest game is 50, and that was the Denver game. But remember, at one point you were down 35. You were down 38-3. You're down by 5 touchdowns. So, of course, you're going to throw the football. And then also the Kansas City game. The Kansas City game, I think he threw 40 times in that game. But the thing about that, they were 5 yards per attempt, which means he was dinking and dunking. Yeah, he threw a lot that game, but he was dinking and dunking. And basically, you have this offense playing like at game management level. And DeShaun is way better than a game manager. And you sit back and you think about his rookie year compared to now, and he has way more talent now. Because you still like, okay, Hop and Fuller, both your number 1 need, number 1 now. Your number 2 here this year is Kenny Stills and Kiki QT. His rookie year, it was Bruce Ellington, and Braxton Miller was his 1 and 2. His running backs his rookie year was Lamar Miller and Alfred Blue. His running backs this year is Carlos Hyde, who's over 1,000 yards, and Duke, who's very, very capable in the passing game. His rookie year, his tight ends, because C.J. Fedorowicz went out with concussion, ended up retiring, was Ryan Griffin and Steven Anderson. His tight ends now is Darren Fells, who's second in the league in tight ends with touchdowns with 7, and Akins, and now they done brought back Thomas. Your offensive line is better because now you have Larry Tunsil, who's a Pro Bowler, starting Pro Bowl left tackle, mind you. With this offensive line, he had Dwayne Brown one game against Seattle his rookie year. You talk about offensive line with Xavier Su'a-Filo and Brando Giacomini and stuff like that. That was the offensive line. Julian Davenport. That's the offensive line that he had to deal with when he was a rookie. Compared to now, with the way Max Sharp has been playing, Nick Martin has been playing well of late. And now we have issues with the the right tackle, because Tyus Howard is gone for injury, and Fulton. Offensive line is playing way better, miles better than they played his rookie year. So he has way more talent from his receiving, from his tight ends, from his backfield, from his offensive line play, but yet he's not putting up the type of numbers he was putting up then. DeShaun should be in the MVP conversation year after year. He should always be in contention to be AFC Player of the Week. But I continuously say he's held back. Now, to the flip side, Jameis Winston doesn't have his receivers. Watch they throw that thing. Jameis Winston turns the ball over a lot via picks, and I ain't even talking about his fumbles. They gonna throw that thing. They gonna put the ball in Jameis because that's the way that Bruce Arians coaches, and that's the way he has Byron Leftwich who's calling the plays. That's how he has him coaching. That's how they have him coach him. I want y'all to watch this matchup, because you're talking about a guy who's about to throw for 5,000 yards. Because trust me, he want to get that 5K. Trust me, he's going to get that 5K. He got 2 games to get 400 yards. And he threw for 400 yards in back-to-back games. And don't say, okay, he didn't have his receivers, because he didn't have last week. He didn't have Mike Evans last week, and he had Godwin. Ended up Godwin going out. He still threw the pyramid. Now, I think that the Texans should be able to win this game. I'm not saying he about to throw for all 400 yards in this game. I'm saying he got 2 games to throw for a little over 400 yards and get his 5K. So they're going to air that thing out. And Jameis Winston can throw the ball. Remember, he did win the Heisman. He won a national championship. He's only lost 1 game in college football, and that was the game to the Oregon Ducks. I think it was Marcus Mariota led team. So he gonna put that ball in the air. He still got O.J. Howard. He gonna put the ball in the air. Watch how they call plays compared to the way we call plays. What's wrong with the offense? It's not the personnel. We've been saying that. We've been saying it is a damn shame that our offense looks the way it looks. This offense, the way this offense is constructed, the way we play offense, you can win some games. You can go 8-8, 9-7. You can, dare I say, win a division. You can do stuff like that. Yes, you really can. You can't win no championship like that. You can't go into Baltimore, go into New England, go into Kansas City, and win games like that. You could probably beat Buffalo at home. You could probably beat Pittsburgh at home. You could probably beat the Titans at home if they get in. If Cleveland get in, you could probably beat them. You could probably I'm talking about playing the style of play. You could probably do that. We do enough just to get by, because this whole game plan offense doesn't make any sense, because we don't take the fight to nobody. We let them bring the fight to us, and we see what they do, and we play to their week. Okay, that's how they gonna do. What we gonna do? We don't make nobody dictate to us. We dictate to them. We don't dictate. We make them. We dictate to them instead of us making them dictate to us. We don't show up to the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Packers. What's another offense team? The Saints. All these teams show up. This is how we play football. How y'all gonna stop it? What you gonna do to stop this? The Falcons. How you gonna stop this? That's how they play football. That's how those teams play football. They show up. They walk up. Okay, cool. And that's how you get MVPs. I'm naming people. Breeze is the only one who didn't win the MVP, but he has a Super Bowl. Rodgers, Super Bowl and MVP. Matt Ryan, been to a Super Bowl, won the MVP. Last year, Pat won the MVP. This Lamar Jackson is going to win the MVP this year. These guys walk up on the field every Sunday and this is how we play football. try to beat us. This is what we do. The Texans don't do that. And the thing is, we might have more talent than them all. But yeah, we don't come to play football like that. We let the defense, we see what the defense gonna do. Okay, now, this what they doing? This what they doing? Okay, okay, cool. Now this is how we play football. This is what I want you to do. Instead of just showing up and be like, okay, stop this. Stop this bomb to Fuller. Stop this bomb to Kiki. Stop this bomb to Steels. This sweep to Kiki. This play action pass. This read option, this. You know what I'm saying? Hop right there. Stop this. Fails, RPO. This is off the fails. Stop this. Come stop this type of play. We don't do that. We don't do that at all. So that's why the whole Astroworld play, Bill O'Brien would say, well, I really came up with. No, you didn't. That has nothing to do. That was completely DeShaun and Hop and whoever else. They came up with that. Who really sat there and seen that play and thought, I think Bill O'Brien came up with that. That looks like a Bill O'Brien play. No, it's not. No, it is not. And that's one of the reasons why I've been hollering, I want Lincoln Riley. I want a creative offensive mind. That's what I want. I want somebody with some forward thinking to see that we have the talent that we have and the quarterback that we have. And I'm not saying throw it 100 times. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is we should be able to control the tempo of a game the way we want to. And not playing this 2001 type football when we are 2019 and we have all the tools and pieces to do everything that everybody else is doing. DeShaun should easily have 30 touchdowns. DeShaun should easily have 4,050 yards. You know what I'm saying? He should easily be in the 4,000 yards. 4,000 plus is what I'm trying to say. We should have 2,000-yard receivers. Now I know some of that to do with Will Fuller's injuries, but Will Fuller misses the lineup. We discombobulated. We don't know how to run the offense. Tampa Bay's missing their number 1 receiver, and Mike Evans is now missing their number 2 receiver. Watch how they play football on Saturday. Just watch how they call plays. It's not going to be anything that's different. They're going to call plays just like they had their number 1 and number 2 guy out there. We don't do that. We miss somebody out the lineup. Oh, Bill O'Brien don't know what to do. The offense, I don't know what's going on. Really? But you supposed to be offensive guru. Supposed to be a quarterback whisperer. Really? I want y'all to pay attention to this. I want y'all to pay attention to the DeShaun versus Jameis Winston battle. I want y'all to watch this because we all know who's the better quarterback in the situation. But I just want you to watch the way that these offenses is ran. And you can be like, damn, why we ain't doing shit like that? Why we at least running our offense that type of tempo? Why are we not doing that? Why we don't run more up tempo? All we do when we behind, we don't. Like I said, we don't never take the fight to nobody. We always let somebody bring the fight to us. We need to start bringing the fight to them. This offense has the pieces too, but yet they act like it's still Brian Hoyer back here. They still act like this is a Brian Hoyer Alpha Blue led team with Cecil Shorts and stuff. Like we have no receivers. We have no receivers. We have no running back, and we have no quarterback. That's the way this offense is still ran. It still ran like 14, 15, and 16. 17 was ran great. We haven't got back to that. We need that type of offense back or a new head coach. Like, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. I'll holla.